Hi there, my name is Cindy and welcome to Snacks and Stacks. I like to talk about books, TV shows, and movies. This is going to be my July wrap-up, so it's everything I watched in July. I will preface this by saying I watched a lot of anime. I really wanted animated movies and TV shows, and so that's what I gravitated towards. But I did watch a couple of movies with some friends and family that were live action. So we'll start with those. I watched 3 things that had real people in it. The first movie I watched was called Heads of State. I watched that with my family, and it was just like all of us wanting to put something on to do. We settled on this action flick. It is about the US president, who's played by John Cena, and the UK Prime Minister, played by Idris Elba. And they basically have to work together even though they don't quite like each other, because they both were in an assassination attempt. And now they're trying to work together to get to safety. It was goofy. It was super goofy, but I think it knew it was goofy, so it was kind of fun to watch. There was definitely parts of it that made us all laugh, and for the most part, it was a good time, but not something that I would like watch over and over again. Not anything cinematically amazing, but it was a lot of fun, and they both did a great job as leads in the movie. It's like a kind of a feel-good action movie time. The next one we watched was called The Electric State. Maybe it's just Electric State. It has Chris Pratt and Millie Bobby Brown. Electric State is about, imagine if in the 1990s the robots trend had like really boomed and we had robots everywhere. And then all of a sudden, the robots became sentient. And these sentient robots basically went to war with humans. And in order for humans to have a fight or be able to fight back, this inventor invented droids that you could wear like a VR headset. And then, hi, we have a visitor. You can't see her, but she's here. Are you okay? No. Okay, where was I? They created droids to then be able to have a dog in the fight, and they won the war. And now it's like 1994 or something, and Millie Bobby Brown shows up as an orphan. She thought her brother died in a car accident, but this kind of robot that is from a TV show that they both watched kind of shows up and convinces her that maybe her brother is still alive. And so together they go and find her brother. However, in this world, people and robots are not supposed to hang out together. I think it's actually against some peace treaty, and so that also causes an issue. For me, I thought this movie was fun. It tries to be heartfelt. I saw a lot of really bad reviews on it because I guess it cost a ton of money to make. And was it worth the money? Probably not. It was very much like in your face. Like I was actually talking to my husband about this the other day about, we're supposed to trust our viewers and we're supposed to trust the consumers, the readers, the people eating up the media. We're supposed to trust that they are smarter and like have them put things together themselves. But it's hard because in a lot of our day-to-day things, sometimes it can feel like people are not quite all there to put these points together. And so I will say, this movie, if you don't like things being told straight to you, you won't like this movie. It is very much, very on the nose. Like, on the nose, on the head. Nothing will go over your head, I don't think. It's very literal. And anything that they are trying to tell you, they will just tell you. They're not going to try to make you think too hard about it. which has, I think, its place, but it's also really hard when you're an avid media consumer, because you're like, yeah, I get it. But I am a sucker for like fun side characters, and the robot side character, Chris Pratt's robot side character, was very enjoyable. I loved him very much, so I gave it just a little bit higher of a score, of a rating, because you know what I say matters, for this movie versus Heads of State, just because I had more fun watching the little robot. But in terms of enjoyability, I would say about the same. Actiony, fun. It felt very iterative of other things that are better though. So if that matters to you, you know, keep that in mind. And the last thing that I can remember watching with real people in it is this K-drama I started called Tastefully Yours. For those who might not know, I really enjoy food and shows and movies that revolves around food. And I grew up watching, like, I didn't have cable, but when I would go to other places and they would play it on TV, like Food Network. So I do have a passion for food. And so that is what drew me to this K-drama. Also, it's a romance, which I really enjoy K-drama romances. However, there is a thread that I don't love, and it's like when it's too dramatic. Just for drama's sake, and I don't like that. But sometimes you just kind of go through it. It's very bingeable. So I got to episode 6 and I stopped. So my question is, if anybody watches K-dramas and have watched this one, is it worth keep going? Is it worth it to keep going? That's the phrase. Because I was very disappointed with the decisions that the main female character made. All of a sudden, she was extremely bad at communication. She just straight up, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I felt the focus on the food wasn't as much, which that might just be a me thing. Now let's go to the animations. We're gonna get this one right out of the way. I've talked about it in my mid-year wrap-up or tag or something. KPop Demon Hunters, super fun. I liked it a lot. I have not rewatched it since I've watched it, but I've listened to the soundtrack nearly every day. I thought it was perfect for the summer. It's like a musical. What is it about? It is rooted in a lot of Korean culture, which is a lot of fun, and K-pop, this phenomena around it. And so we have a K-pop group called the Huntrix, and they are secretly able to sing and create this kind of like protection realm over us, and this protects us from the demons. Now, the demons are trying to, I think it's called the Han Moon, and they are trying to break it so that this veil doesn't trap them. So we have a boy band made of demons that is going to steal all their fans, basically. It's so much fun. It is very enjoyable. There's your cute, derpy animal side characters. There's a potential romance, although I'm very happy with the way the romance ended up in this film. Most people, I think, are not, which I'm like very confused about. Whatever. And we have 3 main girls that are in the Huntrix group that I think are awesome main characters. There's a lot of funny parts, and there's just a lot of great poppy music, and I really, really, really think it's fun summer flick. I've been trying to get my cousin to watch it for like a whole month now, and she won't sit down and watch it. It's driving me crazy. So, I don't know. Maybe somebody else who's watched it, if we can talk about it together. What's your favorite song? I think I like Soda Pop a ton. I know I like Soda Pop a ton, even though it's about them pretty much, you know, numbing us. But I also really like, I think it's What It Sounds Like, because I just want to say that I almost cried at the part where it said, "We listen to the demons, we let them get between us, but none of us are out here on our own. So we were cowards, so we were liars, so we're not heroes, we're still survivors, the dreamers, the fighters, no lying, I'm tired, but dive in the fire and I'll be right here by your side." I'm sorry, that whole part made me want to weep, because it just honestly speaks so much for adults who are going through it. So, love this movie, love the music. Highly recommend for everyone to watch it at least once. Just try it out. It's really short. It's like 90 minutes, you know? Okay, what else did I watch? I finished season 2 of Apothecary Diaries. I love this show so much. I thought season 2 was done super well. I want to rewatch it so that I can watch it fully as kind of like a binge, because I had to stop and we only watched maybe 4 to 5 at a time, and I got a little disconnected, but I think it was a great time. There is something about the main character and how they are treating her and the way that she's like learning how to care about other people that I really like. And the main male character, Jinshi, he's a lot sometimes, but I also really like it. If you've watched me talk about any anime, Apothecary Diaries is one of my favorite ones. It's seriously top notch. What else? I'm rewatching Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood because I'm reading the manga, and I was talking to my husband about it, then he wanted to watch it, and I don't want him to watch it without me. So we're watching it together, just randomly. When we have a couple, like an hour to fill, we'll play a couple episodes. I've been in a romance mood, and I've been in an animated romance mood for sure. So we watched 2. I watched Yakuza Fiance. This is 12 episodes long. It is based on a manga. It is more for adults, for sure. And it's about these 2 teenagers, which, disclaimer, I really wish they weren't teenagers. But that's just my own personal thing. It's about these 2 teenagers. They're like probably 17, 18. And they are both children in the Yakuza of opposite clans in different places in Japan. Somehow the girl's grandfather spread this rumor that she and the other guy is like interested in each other. And so for a year, he's telling his granddaughter to live and go to school where the guy goes. I didn't write down their names. I'm sorry. I'll put pictures up. But I really admire the gumption that this girl has. At first you think, oh, she's kind of like less violent, because you definitely see that the guy is Yakuza, he is violent. So this is for those who like those dark romances with like mobsters and gangsters. It's not quite that dark, but it's definitely still like an anime. But I think it's getting there. But anyways, at first you think she's kind of like normal. And then she does something and you're like, oh, she's got some guts. And just that thing that she does, which I won't spoil, made the male character like flip his like decision to all of a sudden he was like, actually, I'm in love with you. And so this whole time she's like, I'm not giving up because I was told to stick it out and be here for 1 year. And I think her grandfather said to like make him fall in love with you and then break his heart. And so like, so that's what's happening. And then he is like all of a sudden obsessed with her, which is very weird. And I don't know what's wrong with, like, sometimes when I'm explaining this stuff, I'm like, what's wrong with me that I like this so much? But it's not just me, other people like it too. And yes, it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. I played it. Sometimes my husband and I will sit on the couch and separately view our media. But I don't really love watching on my phone. I like the big TV, like why have TV? So I was playing it on the TV and I was watching it, and I think I was coloring or something, and I thought I was watching it. You know how you have your own show and your partner has his own show? I'm watching my show. And then, so then the next day I was cooking and I put it on because I have my phone. I really want to know what happened next. So I'm like playing it in the kitchen and watching it while I'm, prepping dinner. And he goes, "Are you watching our show without me?" I was like, "Excuse me? When did this become our show?" So then I had to rewatch a couple episodes with him. But yeah, it was super fast. It's 12 episodes. I will say another con is that I was about to start buying the manga because I'm like, I want to know what happens next. But I've heard that the manga actually isn't that much further ahead. And although it fills in some of the gaps, it also is a slow manga to come out. And the creator, the writer, and artist is on like a indefinite hiatus. Partially, this is what I read from Reddit, because of all the scans and piracy going on with their art. That really sucks. I would love to know how the story ends, but I'm like one of those people that if I get left in I don't know. So another question out there for y'all. Do you think Yakuza Fiance manga is worth getting into, even though it takes forever for a new book and also might not even be happening? That is the question out there. Next one I watched. Then I went like 180 and I went to a sports romance called Blue Box. They are high school students and they are definitely acting like high school students. I don't love high school romances because I'm not in high school. But I don't know. I think I can appreciate them more now that I'm older. But I felt so bad because there's a kind of a love triangle in this romance. And the way the anime went and the perspectives that you get, you almost feel, me and my husband felt really bad for one of the characters. But what is it about? It is about a boy who plays badminton and a girl who plays basketball. And they both practice in the same gym. The boy has seen her practice, come in early and practice early, and at first just admired that she was such a go-getter, so persistent in her sport and craft, and then developed a crush for her. And in order for her to stay in Japan and continue playing with her team and get to nationals next year, she has to stay back while her family moves abroad. And the family that she stays back to live with, because their family friend, their mothers know each other, is this boy's. Okay, so he's like, oh my God, the girl I have a crush on lives with me. So we're dealing with a lot of that. On top of that, we have, and also they're a year apart, so she is 1 year older. And then we have Hina, who is a rhythmic gymnastics girl, and she is best friends with this boy. And she also practices in the same gym. And they're all trying to go to nationals. They're all trying to work on their athleticism, but also they are teenagers and they like each other. So we have Hina, who also knows that he likes Chinatsu, which is the basketball girl, but cannot help that she also likes him and ends up telling him. And so that's the kind of love triangle. And that's 25 episodes and pretty much what we deal with. We deal with sports, clubs, practicing for to get better, and also this relationship stuff. I think the animation is really pretty. I think the characters are drawn super beautifully. I love their little chibi characters as well. My husband watched it with me, which does happen. So he got really frustrated because there's a lot of not communicating. So this is definitely for those who can understand that these characters are high schoolers. They're young too. They're like first, second year high schoolers. So maybe 15, 16. And they are terrible at communicating and talking to each other. But I thought their characters were done super well. I actually was like breaking it down for him and saying like, well, this is why this one is able to communicate this way, and why these two, like, they don't know how, and da 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 da. So I thought it was done super well. It's just frustrating when you want things to happen, and it's definitely left on a bit of a cliffhanger. So there's that. What else? And I think that's it. So that's everything I watched in July. Let me know if you've watched anything great lately. I would love to know. I have been in a big like TV mood rather than reading. It's just I can't seem to get into the books as much. So I am down for a new show. And yeah, I love obviously anime, but I also just I love having a good time. Right now, that's what I'm looking for. I don't want anything too emotional, too dramatic, because I think I want to have some levity. I have been feeling kind of down. So, happy binging, happy snacking, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye!